Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday School. It's good to have you here today. Well, today we're going to pick up on the story we left last week. You might remember last week we were talking about the story of Joseph and his brothers. And Joseph had a coat, right? And it was a beautiful coat with beautiful colors on it. And his dad had given him the coat, but his brothers got really jealous. They got mad. Remember that jealous face that Sid made in the camera last week? They got jealous. They got angry and they threw their brother Joseph in a pit and they left him. Well, this coat that Joseph got kind of gave him something of some superpowers, if you will. And Joseph started to interpret dreams. He became this great dream interpreter. And when there was a famine in the land, which means everybody was really hungry, there wasn't enough food for everybody in the land, and the crops weren't growing and things were going really bad, Joseph's brothers and his father lost their money and they lost their food. And they came to see Joseph, who by this time had become a great, amazing leader. And we're going to hear more about what happened to that in a minute. But it makes me think that Joseph was in a pretty dark place in his life when he was thrown into that pit, right? But Joseph kept shining his light. And we're going to sing a song about that right now. But first, we have to find Sid. Sid? Where are you?
Here I am.
There's Sid. He's here today. And he's going to sing a song for us. So what song could we think of about light, Sid?
How about This Little Light of Mine?
This Little Light of Mine! Oh, that has actions. All right, let's go.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
What else?
More verses?
Of course.
Hide under a bushel? No. Hide it under a bushel? No. I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel? No. I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel? No. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Don't let Satan get out. Don't let Satan get out. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let Satan get out. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let Satan get out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Yay! Love that song, don't you?
I do.
All right. Well, so Joseph's brothers came to him and they were hungry, right? And at first they didn't recognize Joseph, which is a whole part of the story you'll read about today. But then Joseph helped his brothers. And Joseph, you're going to find out, forgave his brothers. And something that started off really bad, Joseph being thrown in the pit, awful things happening to him, his brothers being hungry, all this stuff, God made something really good come out of it. Because Joseph is going to be reunited with his family in the story you'll read today. He's going to forgive his brothers in the story you're going to read today. He's going to be reunited with his father who missed him and loved him so much in the story that you'll read today. Because even though you intended harm, God intended it for good. That's the Bible verse we're going to think about today. Because Joseph's brothers kind of intended harm, right? When they threw him in that pit. But God used Joseph for good. God used that story for good. Like if you ever, I don't know, Sid had a fight with somebody,
Sometimes.
Sometimes we all fight, maybe with our friends, maybe with our siblings, maybe with our spouses, right? Sometimes we fight. But God can make reconciliation happen. God can help us to forgive each other. And even though we might not understand it and we might not always mean it for good, God intends for our lives to be good. And God intends to do good things with our lives. And God did great things with Joseph's life. And God made something wonderful happen out of a very, very hard story. Because that's what our God can do. And that's how God can bless us. And especially when we can forgive each other and take care of each other, God can really make amazing things happen. We're going to sing another song and then we're going to have a prayer. So, the song that I was thinking about is just how much joy must have been living in Joseph. For him to forgive his brothers and help other people after all that he had been through. So the song I was thinking of is, I've Got the Joy.
Well, Joseph must have had joy down in his heart, right?
Down in his heart.
Well, here's how it goes. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. I got the love of Jesus. I've got the love of Jesus down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart. I've got the love of Jesus down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart.
Where?
Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart.
Yay! Thanks, Sid, for playing songs for us today. All right, well, before we go, we're going to have a prayer. But before that, I want to just remind you of the activities that you can do. Last week, remember when we talked about Joseph and his brothers, your activity was, and I think this is a good one, so I just want to remind you of this to make sure you might do it, to watch a movie about Joseph. And there's a couple that we talked about. The Ballad of Little Joe is a VeggieTale. I love VeggieTales, don't you, Sid?
Those are so
Those
fun.
are some of my favorite movies. And you can find those on YouTube. You can find those at the video store. The Ballad of Little Joe VeggieTale. Or a wonderful musical that you can find on Netflix called Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So you can watch that as a family too, and that's a really fun one. And then today's activity, because we're thinking about hungry people, right? Well, today's activity is to collect non-perishable items for the local food bank. And you can take those to the food bank. You can also drop those off here at church, and we will take them to the food bank for you. But today's activity to collect non-perishable food items, canned goods, and other food items for our food bank to help feed people in our community. Now we're going to close with some prayer. And for this prayer today, I want you to get comfortable. Get comfortable, Sid, right? Get comfortable. Maybe you want to lie on the ground. Maybe sitting in your chair, you can put your head down or put your head back and close your eyes. And I'm going to leave some silence in our prayer today. And we're just going to get really comfortable and really focus on God today as we start our prayer. So first, take a deep breath. Maybe another one. Dear God, when things have fallen apart, sometimes we've not acted smart. Sometimes we're to blame. or maybe we were framed. Help us to make things good and to fix it like you would. Amen. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us today for Sunday School. Have a great week, and you can pick up your new kits later this week for our next 4 sessions of Sunday School. Bye.